5 steps I've taken to better manage my tasks. Now, if you didn't see yesterday's video, I talked about this class that I watched through the Coaching Institute by Matt Lavaz about how to more effectively get things done. I don't remember the exact title, but it was something to that effect. And I spent a few days implementing this process, and if you missed it yesterday, it's amazing. Like, my mind now is so much freer and so much available to take on new information, focus on stuff. It's just incredible. It's awesome. Anyway, so look, let me go through this. So first of all, what I did before for task management was absolutely terrible. Basically, I kept tasks mostly in my head, and I know a lot of people who do this. So I know I'm not alone. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff to take care of. So that was a lot of stuff. On top of that, I would keep messages and emails marked as unread. So I'd read them and then mark them as unread. So I knew that I had to do something with them. And then on top of that, I would keep tabs open on my computer, well, actually computers, because I usually have more than one, as well as my phone and my iPad. And yeah, this got really, really bad, like to the point of I doubled the RAM in my computer because I had so many tabs that I needed to keep open. Just take a second to think how ridiculous that is. But yeah, that was okay apparently. Like, I just rolled with it. I did it. I got a lot of stuff done because at least I guess I had some sort of system for keeping track of some stuff. But yeah, it wasn't very efficient. It wasn't very effective. And I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I have forgotten. I'm sorry if you're one of those people who I have forgotten to do something for. If you still remember it and I still need to do it, please get in contact with me, because if it's not on my to-do list now, I'd like to add it. And yeah, I apologize profusely for that. But anyway, look, so the 5 steps that I took was, well, this. Step number 1 was a mind dump. So just take everything in my head and clean it out. Just get it down onto the list, which I've actually done several times over the years. I've taken the tasks, put them down on either a sheet of paper or in an app or anything. I've tried a number of different things over the years, but I always went back to just mostly keeping it in my head and doing those other bits and pieces that I talked about. Problem with that is that you put everything down on the list, and then, well, at least I looked at it and went, man, there is no way that I am ever getting all of that done. It's just not going to happen, because it seemed like every task I took off, another 3 to 5 got added instead. So I'm like, this is just not going to happen. This is where step 2 comes in. So step 2 is to take your tasks from your mind dump and then categorize them by type. So for example, I might have one for business, I might have one for home, I might have one for tech stuff, because there's a lot of tech stuff that I do. Those are actually lists that I have, by the way. So yeah, you take them and then you categorize them into all of that. So you break them up into chunks. And, you know, if you don't have a category for something, make a new list and that's fine. But then, like, that's all well and good, but then what do you do with it then? Because, like, you know, you've now got these chunks and it seems like you've got more stuff to take care of. So this then takes us to step 3. Step 3 is to then categorize them again within those categories by, effectively, like, the length of time. Categorize them by the length of time that they're either going to take or that you want them to happen in. So for me, that is short term, medium term, and long term, and this is what was taught in the lesson as well. Now, to differentiate this from the other categories, like categorizations, was to color code them. So they're color coded: green for short term, yellow for medium, and blue for long. So long-term stuff is blue. This might be stuff that doesn't necessarily have a time frame attached to it, but is something that, you know, want to do. For example, as a tech head, I want to buy a Raspberry Pi one day, which is a credit card size computer. Yeah, Raspberry Pi. Weird name now that I think about it. But yeah, I want to get one of those one day and play with it and explore it a little bit. That's not urgent. There's no time frame attached to it, but that's what I've put it in. I've put it in a long-term task because, yeah, it doesn't need to be done anytime soon. Anyway, but on top of that, I actually added a fourth list, which is color-coded red, and I've called that next. So what I'm doing at the moment is tasks that I want to do sooner rather than later. Literally, the next things I want to do go in there. I try to keep that to probably about 10 items. And I'm finding that works pretty well for me. I check my list very regularly. I go back and see if there's anything. And that really brings us to, actually that's step 5. We'll come to that in a second. But step 4 is to then go and schedule them. So for the stuff that you want to get done, either categorize the schedule in the calendar, or like assuming you have a calendar, if not, you're going to have to work on that one too, or schedule when in the day you want to do them. For example, I have now started scheduling when I want to record these daily videos. That's not actually when I'm doing them right now, but it's in the calendar, so I know I've got to do it on that day around that time. At the moment, I'm shifting those times around to see when's going to work better. So next week I'll have a better idea of when to schedule them. But look, the plan is happening. I did schedule some other stuff today, so I did actually get those things done at the time that they were scheduled in the calendar. But like I said, if you don't want to schedule a specific task, you can schedule the category. So for example, say you've got an hour free, schedule 1 hour for tech work. Tech stuff, playing with tech stuff. That goes in the calendar, and then you know that, but then you can look at your short, medium, and long-term goals, or long period of time goals, and figure which one do I want to work on. See, now it's all coming together. But see, step 5 is really important, and step 5 is to check up on your lists and how you're doing with the lists. Like, you've got to curate them, make sure there's not stuff in there that you've done that you haven't taken off yet. You might need to change the time frame for stuff. It's like getting your car serviced. You've got to do it regularly to make sure that everything's running smoothly. So yeah, I'm doing that at the moment in the morning every day. And then once I finish a task, I go back and check again. I don't check the whole list, but it's my go-to for what to do next. Now, look, if I didn't do this, if I hadn't come across this system, thanks to Candace who pointed me to it, then everything would still be in my head. Everything would still be in open tabs, which by the way are all closed now. So if I'm not actually actively using it that day, it's gone. Or, at the time, then it's gone. If it's not a task I'm working on, it can go. So basically I have email, calendar, the notes for this, and 2 or 3 things that I'm working on. That's it. It's great. So much better. But yeah, yesterday I mentioned that at the start of this, like the start of using this system, I found my mind was freer, but I find my mind still fishing for the tasks that I used to keep in there, which I now know my mind just goes, look at the list, look at the list, look at the list, look at the list, because that's where they all are. That's where I know they all are. So instead now of my mind finding tasks to do and remembering, oh, you got to do this, oh, you got to do that, oh, this, that, and the other, now it's like, hey, remember learning this? Hey, remember learning that? Hey, maybe you need to learn more about this. It's so different. It's been probably just over 24 hours. Yeah, it's been just over 24 hours, or a few hours past 24 hours. So it's been just over a day. And in the day, I can already tell the marked improvement. You got to try it. If you don't have a task management system, do this. If you want me to talk about the practical side of this, please let me know, because I'm using stuff that is entirely free. And it works really, really well, at least for me. Maybe it won't work for you, but I can do a longer technical video on that. But maybe you're doing something different, and that's fine. Maybe you have a really good task management system. If you do, please let me know, because I'm interested to see if I could refine the system in any way, make it a little bit better in any way. And yeah, I'd be very interested to take your ideas on board. If not, tell me just what are you doing for task management? Are you like me or like I was? Do you not have anything? Are you trying to keep everything in your head? Was this helpful for you? Any feedback is great. But yeah, it's really late. apparently I haven't scheduled in bedtime or sleep for this. So yeah, should probably go do that. Thanks for watching. Bye.